think just recently, maybe in the last year, Ken's called me a Chad now. So, like, if anyone knows what that means. But I
Alpha
learned.
male.
I'm not an alpha male, dude.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
Ken, explain. You're the one that brought it up.
No, because I've been seeing some Instagram posts from Robert, and these are like powerlifting, deadlifting, etc., and really heavy weights. And then there's like a term within the Gen Z millennial crowd, which is like Chad, and then Chad is like but it's like the stereotypical,
Like buff dude.
yeah, like super buff dude and stuff.
I'm not buff, by the way. I think he's using it ironically because I'm nowhere
No,
near buff.
no, I saw the weights that we're lifting, and it's not light. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. But I learned a lot about my body. I learned that you should always respect your doctor and don't tell them to piss off. And I learned that the limitations you have in your body aren't, how can I say, like, there's no point crying over spilt milk. If your body is limited in certain ways, it just is. And you can't go around walking around going, hey, that's super unfair. This person can eat whatever they want and they look like a supermodel. That makes no sense, right? Whereas I eat one cracker and I gain 12 kilos. Like, yeah, it's unfair. But the point is, like, that's the reality. And so when you come to terms with your body and your reality, then you can start working on it and going, okay, well, what are the things that I have got as a benefit? And then focus on them and build up health in a way that is sustainable for you. Because what that person is doing is sustainable for them. And what you're doing, is going to be completely different. And when you come to terms with that, then one, you know how to manipulate your body for sustainable, better health outcomes. And two, health supplements suck.
Right.
What
That makes so
do
much
you mean?
sense.
You
Though.
don't need them.
That makes so much sense though, because if you look at guys like the Mountain, like in Game of Thrones, these are like bulky guys, right? And I feel like he has the same body type as you, but he's using it in the best way, which is like powerlifting, strength, etc. So you might not be the best guy when it comes to endurance running, but in terms of, I think, like powerlifting and all that, I think you have the right body type for that. So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Robert, how often do you lift, bro?
Bro,
Do you even lift, bro? I actually follow. It's embarrassing. I follow like a bodybuilders program. So it's 3 days on, 1 day off. I do chest and back, arms and shoulders, then legs on my final day, and then break. So 5
Really?
to 6
So
days
that's
a week.
like yeah. Oh, cool. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Khalil,
It's a lot.
I think Khalil lifts too, right? You lift too, right, Khalil?
yeah, I do the minimum. I just follow this starting strength template. It's supposed to be for beginners, but I've been doing it for like 3 years. I remember like telling you about these guys when I started. I just been continuing it. And when I moved to Davao, my what you call this? Like the luggage allowance was 40 kilograms. So half of that was the bar. So I had to bring a bar here. So you see my priorities in life. I had to leave some clothes in Manila because I had to bring the bar here. So
It's
That
so
makes sense. That makes sense.
man,
A bar
it's,
is important. You can use this for so many things. It's like a very heavy walking stick, or a very lightweight to do bicep curls, or a weapon. You
exactly.
might need one of
In
those.
case of war, man, I have
Oh
the weapon
yeah,
with me. Yeah,
you have a barbell.
exactly.
That makes sense. Well, so how much? This is a vain question. How much are you lifting?
No, it's like I'm just lift. My deadlift is like this 2x body weight times 5, and I'm limiting myself to that because I don't want to. Actually, like I had to buy new what you call this plates here, and I've already used up all the plates. Yeah,
2x body weight's impressive.
Yeah. You make it sound like it's
You
nothing.
sound like it's easy. It's not.
I hang out in like this powerlifting, strength training Facebook groups, and if I mention that, it's like, all right, okay, man.
They're like, oh, bro, why aren't you lifting like 5 times your body weight? It's like, no, that's unsafe. Like, I got to the point where I was like, I'm lifting heavy weights, and beyond this, you have a choice. Either you go powerlifting route or like bodybuilding route. And I was like, I'm gonna go bodybuilding route. So you sort of peak at a certain point,
What's the difference? What's powerlifting versus bodybuilding route?
You would program your exercise regime completely differently. So a power lifter will do big.
Robert, you have to explain the objective first. A power lifter cares only about one thing: how heavy they can lift.
Just strength.
Straight up strength. It's all about physique, man.
Hypertrophy. That's what you're after.
Being
Hypertrophy.
Large and muscular.
Correct.
Yeah. So those are interesting actually in the gym. You have those two different cultures. In the Philippines, it's like almost all bodybuilders. Like there was a gym I used to go to. There were like 5 benches there and only 1 squat rack. And the powerlifters have to squat. Bodybuilders hate squatting. So
they
even
hate
the squat rack, some bodybuilder would go there in order to bench. It's like, what the hell? It's like you have 5.
You're wasting it.
Here.
This is gym etiquette, guys. You're learning gym etiquette in this podcast. If you're going to be doing things that don't rely on the squat rack, GTFO, because I want to use it.
I have no idea about any of that.
Gym etiquette.
When you think about biking, man, it makes no sense to me. Like, but
for sure.
Also like the world, the world of lifting.
Yeah, I went the bodybuilding route, so I still do deadlifts, squats, bench presses, but I do a lot of ISO exercises as well. So whereas like a power lifter, for color's sake, might do like maybe like just the compound movements, so like squat, deadlift, bench press, but do them like very low reps, very high weight, right? A bodybuilder will do, lower weight, but a higher number of reps and focus on specific muscle groups, activating muscle groups. So whereas a power lifter will try and use their whole body to lift a weight, bodybuilders will be they should be strict in form. So they're only activating like the muscle groups they want. So they know what they're working on. So they talk about things like balancing muscle groups and things like that. I'm not there yet. But it's, if you don't take it to the extreme, it's a healthy lifestyle because you're forced to eat healthy. You're forced to lose weight, if you want to cut, and, you're working on all of the muscle groups. I think compound movements sometimes miss some of the extremities. So you're not going to work on your calves and you're not going to work on your arms,
Okay. I'm weird,
So,
like compared to you guys. Sorry, go ahead, Carlo.
Oh yeah, Ken. Wait, do you do any exercises or?
Yeah, I do, but I'm at the third road. So there's actually a third path, which is like pure body weights. So I do like more calisthenic exercises. So things like I try to do 1-arm push-ups, like 1-arm pull-ups, and then I also try to do handstand push-ups. So I'm not there yet. I'm like I'm halfway there. So it's like assisted 1-arm push-ups. So how that works is that you have like, one hand here, and instead of like using the full hand for the right arm, for example, you just use like fingers, like 2 fingers or something. So that helps train you en route to 1-arm push-ups. So I do that right now, like 2 or 3 fingers, pretty much. So I'm like the third. I used to do bodybuilding, but that wasn't sustainable for me because I get too competitive. So if I see like other people lifting a certain weight, like I want to lift something more, but I just don't have the lifestyle to support it because I used to do like the perfect diet, like, all the macros are properly counted and all that. So I went that route before. And yes, my physique did improve at that time, but it just wasn't sustainable for me because I quit for like a while. And then now I'm back, but I'm now doing more calisthenic exercises, which are more sustainable for me because I can just do it at home. So when COVID started, that just accelerated even more.
I feel like everyone, like when COVID started, everyone started focusing on getting healthy because one, you're stuck at home. What else is there to do? And two, there's the existential threat of dying to COVID.
True.
Good motivation, man.
Yeah, don't die. Get healthy.
And I suppose Carlo is now like a biking superstar of Cebu, something like that.
Oh yeah,
it's weird because it's like endurance. So we have one power lifter guy, we have one bodybuilder guy. I'm like in a bodybuilding, not a bodyweight space, and then there's like this super endurance guy who bikes for like 200 kilometers or something. That's crazy.
Well,
that's impressive.
Not today. Okay.
Today was 45. No, it's just fun. So the reason, so you guys were talking about going to the gym, doing these exercises. I actually find it very difficult to do stuff like that just because like I don't enjoy it. So the only reason I get to bike is because I just enjoy, it's like there's no impediment. Like when you want to run, let's say you want to run, and the hardest thing is really just putting your shoes on. Once you have your shoes on, really all you need to do is get out the door and then you can just run, right?
Right.
And I find that for me personally, when I bike, there's no impediment. Like I don't mind getting up at 4:30 in the morning when there's no light yet. Like I don't see it as a negative, right? Like I want to be out there. And unfortunately for me, I find everything else as a negative. Like I don't, dude. Like the only time I've been to a gym like twice, sort of. Like one, the first time in the gym was, yeah, no, but basically like the first time I went to a gym was because I took a gym class in college, and because it was the only one available for PE. And the other time was went to a gym membership because I was still courting my wife when she wasn't my girlfriend yet, and she joined the gym. I was like, hey, that's a good idea, and so I got a gym membership for that.
Oh my god,
that didn't last very long. That's lit. Those are basically the only two times I've went to a gym for me, and I just can't get myself to do it.
Yeah, I think you need to find your thing, and then
exactly.
Whatever works for you, that's it. The best exercise is the one that you do.
I hated going to the gym before. I hated going, but like I think I switched my mental space. I use the gym almost like as in a way for me to turn my brain off now, because all of us, right, all day we spend thinking. Like a lot of what we do is mental. And you get exhausted at the end of it, and you think, oh, you're exhausted, go to sleep, that sort of thing. But that's not very productive. So I found it very useful to kind of use the gym as a way to tune everything out, stick my headphones on, and I just focus on the numbers. That's it. Yeah. It's really simple. More numbers is better. That's it. Like there's no complicated equations. I don't need to, do any like complicated mental arithmetic or anything. It's just me and the weights. I don't care about anyone else around. And then like obviously you get good results at the end, but the point is it's like for me that's my downtime now. So I need it. I need it.
Interesting.
That's true. Back in 2017, so go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, so I used to think like that, like it was my downtime, but I changed. So I actually do it like as early in the morning as much as possible. So it's like coffee for me, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that.
I've got a workmate that does that as well. It gets her started, and she can't work without it, I have too many early morning calls, so I'd have to get up at 3 a.m. to do it. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So actually, like back in 2017, which was a very difficult time in my business, that was my refuge, because under the bar, nothing else matters. It's like, because like if you're carrying the heaviest weight you could carry, your body thinks it's about to die. No, it's like, and then nothing else matters. It's like your mind is clear. You're only, it's only you and surviving this weight. And it's a great escape. It's like, it's your mind is just cleared.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that as well.
We deal with so many things in everyday life, right? All of us, where like the end goal is sometimes really difficult to figure out, or it's really far away. or we're dealing with something that's like ongoing and we don't know when it's going to get better or when it's going to end. But like 5 reps on a bench, I know when that's going to end. It's going to end when either like I can't get up 5 reps or, 10 seconds later.
And it's like if you're losing in everything else, which I experienced, at least there's this one thing you could win at. It's like, okay, I PR today. That's it. I won. And if it's like you're consistently winning despite like everything else falling apart, at least there's one thing, no?
Yeah.
So
I can lift more than I did yesterday.
That's awesome.